And the question for this week is, how do we stop them accessing so much porn? And welcome back to Sitting in a Car. I'm Sarah Sproul and I sit in a car with you every week answering a question to help you raise a confident and caring young person who respects themselves and the people around them. So what I really like about this question is the way it qualifies itself. How do we stop them accessing so much porn? So in there's sort of a resigned acceptance that, I know what the world is like now. I know what the internet is capable of. I know that children are going to be able to find this stuff if they want to find it, or they'll be shown it by someone else, or they will come across it by mistake. So this parent is like going, okay, how are we just going to stop so much of it from happening? And I'm going to tell you the usual things that everyone keeps saying. It's going to be inevitable, so you need to use lots of different strategies. You need to make sure that they are supervised when they're, as much as possible, in their online use. You need to use various sorts of parental controls. This is not my area of expertise, but you can go to a site somewhere like webwise.ie to get more information about this. But here's the thing that is my area of expertise, the conversations around this. So you can and should be putting things in place, strategies in place that limit their ability to do it. And yes, kids are going to get around parental controls and all that sort of thing, but still do it because it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for them, and that's a good thing, right? We don't want to make this super easy because if it's harder, it's going to be minimizing what they do or how they do it, how often they do it. But a conversation needs to take place beside this problem that we're having. And the conversation needs to be something that ensures that they come back to you and come back to you and come back to you if things get difficult. And so one of the strategies for having a conversation about online porn, which is a massive thing, by the way, and I'm doing it a disservice by making it really simple, but why not? Sitting in the car, we only have a few minutes. The conversations need to be ones that keep connection with your child. So if you lecture your children about anything and tell them they're wrong and bad for doing something, then they're less likely to be going to come to you for support. So that's the first thing you have to work out. Like, do you want to be a resource that they trust, or do you feel more comfortable, being very clear about what is non-negotiable, and watching porn or seeing porn is non-negotiably bad, and then they will get the idea that if they've seen it at all, that you're going to be cross. Children who think their parents are going to be cross are not going to come to their parent to talk or ask questions of. So that's the thing. So how can you have conversations in a way that still allows you to be open to these sort of things? You can say something like, there are lots of really great things on the internet. What are some of the things? And you can list off puppy videos and YouTube tutorials about some sort of video game. What else is good about the online world? Recipes and music videos, if you think they're good, and help with our homework. And you can list all these different things. And you can say how, the internet is amazing now because there is so much stuff on there that can help us learn things and do things. And then you can say, and there's these other things online that aren't really useful at all. In fact, sometimes they can be harmful. What are some of those things? Can you think of any? Because they may have some things. They might come with, bullying videos where someone's said something mean about someone online. They might say, upsetting news sites showing sad things about what's happening in the world. They might say things like, your kid will come up with some things. And if they don't come up with some things, you can mention some of the things, because this is going to be challenging for some of you, because a lot of us believe that we should be shielding our children from a lot of hardship in life, and absolutely that is the case. But if we pretend that nothing is hard in the world, then we're not preparing our child for the experience of having a difficult time. And being human is difficult. That's just part of the definition of being human, right? So we do need to acknowledge that there are hard things online in the world and online, but in the context of we are keeping them safe. And so one of the difficult things we might find online is some people post photos of their naked bodies or other people's naked bodies. And while we might not feel like that's dangerous. Sometimes the thing they post online looks dangerous or looks scary and makes us feel afraid. Or maybe we're interested in, we want to know more about it, but we also have this feeling of, oh, this doesn't feel quite right. So when we describe in detail the experience of finding something online, like naked bodies in a video, doing things to each other or touching each other or putting things in different parts of someone else's body, when we talk about that, we are modeling to our children that we can have a conversation like that in our house, and that's okay. And do you notice how when I'm describing it like that, I'm sort of describing the scene? I'm just being very matter of fact. I'm saying you might see this stuff and you might feel all different sort of feelings. And it's really important to come and talk to a grown-up, because when we share feelings that feel awkward, that makes it easier to get more relaxed and more calm more quickly. So let's recap. When we're talking about online porn, yes, the question is about so much porn. So we're talking about using all the usual strategies. But really, one of our parenting superpowers is to be able to model to our children that they can come and talk to us about these things and we will not bite off their heads. And then, as a parent, we need to do that work of making sure we learn how we can keep ourselves calm and keep ourselves comfortable so that we are available to our children to help them talk about the experience of seeing something like that online. And here's a stop press. I've just listened to everything I said there, and what I realize is it's not easy. This work is not easy. Learning how to be calm, to do with listening to our child tell us they've seen some pornographic material online, that is difficult work. And so I'm here to tell you that if you think you can do that like this, that's really good. I just snapped my fingers for those of you on the podcast. But if you are not able to sort of slide into those abilities and that role, that's okay. You are not broken. It's just you've never been shown how to do these things. And sometimes complicated parts of our parenting mean that we need to take time to learn how to do it. And that could take us a few weeks. It could take us sitting down with an expert and really thrashing through what our feelings are about this and what sort of simple strategies that we can use to manage our emotions when our child comes to us, and how do we keep ourselves calm, and how do we talk about online pornography in a way that doesn't make our child feel like they are the devil because they've seen it. And I want to reassure you that if this work is difficult, you're okay. It just takes effort, it takes practice, and it takes the right information and support to get all this sort of thing done. Please be assured that I am not sitting here trying to make you feel bad or guilty. These are just some tips and some advice and the reassurance that you're not broken if you can't do it. It's just another opportunity to do some work to make your parenting better. And that's Sitting in a Car for another week, where I've answered a question to help you raise your confident and caring young person who respects themselves and the people around them. Bye for now.